Well, everyone, I did not expect to make as many Horror Nights videos as I am making these couple weeks or so, and that's because out of nowhere, Universal dropped a major announcement on us with 3 new haunted houses coming to Halloween Horror Nights 2023 at Universal Studios Hollywood. Welcome back, everyone. My name is Scott, and you're watching Exploring Attractions. And if you're new here, please subscribe down below with those bell notifications on to never miss a video like the one that you're watching right now. And leave this video a like if you enjoy it at the end. It really helps out the channel a whole lot. And as always, make sure to stay tuned on all of our social media for all the Midsummer Scream fun this weekend. But that's right, everyone. Speaking of Midsummer Scream, there's probably another announcement going on within a few hours or so, because Murdy's been teasing an announcement on Midsummer Scream. So this was filmed on Saturday, so just in case I say anything that completely contradicts what gets revealed on Sunday, then that's why this was filmed the day before. Today we're talking about what was announced on Friday, which is 3 different haunted houses. One that we've already had an announcement for, but Universal did say there would be a re-announcement, if you will, for Chucky, which is now called Chucky Ultimate Kill Count. But on top of that, we got 2 new haunted houses announced, and Universal Monsters Unmasked and The Exorcist Believer officially coming to Halloween Horror Nights 2023.
And think it's all an act. Those of us who ignore the signs and go alone. What if the legend of AJ Jen is more than just a legend?
Whew, that was one of the most terrifying house trailers that I have ever seen, for sure. And I'll talk a little bit about that as far as their trailers go and everything, and how they all tie into each other, if they do, a little bit later on in this video. But let's address the elephant in the room, as The Exorcist has been announced and Universal Monsters Unmasked. So let's talk about first The Exorcist Believer. Now, on the speculation map, The Exorcist was on there, and I talked a lot about I really hope that it's The Exorcist Believer. I don't want the original Exorcist to come back for a 3rd year. I just feel like it's kind of pointless at that point, even though The Exorcist Believer is releasing in October, so a lot of people won't have seen the movie unless they went to screenings of it beforehand. We're still going to get some form of adaptation of The Exorcist Believer without giving too much away from the movie. And with that being said, I think it's probably going to be lower on my anticipation list, just because when they do stuff like this, then you really can't capture everything that goes on in the movie, with the exception of Crimson Peak. Crimson Peak was a haunted house before the actual movie came out, and Crimson Peak was really good, so I'm hoping that The Exorcist Believer is just like that. I mean, the trailer looks terrifying. The trailer for the haunted house looks terrifying, so I'm really holding this as a high expectation for it to be at least terrifying. Not so much for it to be like an amazing haunted house, but for sure for it to be terrifying. So I'll read you a little bit of what they said on the press release. Inspired by Universal Pictures' terrifying new horror film from Blumhouse and Morgan Creek Entertainment, The Exorcist Believer Haunted House will unleash an entirely new level of terror to Halloween Horror Nights. In this new chapter, guests will be transported to a bustling street market in Haiti, where an innocent purchase of a strange folk doll with 3 eyes leads to an opening of a demonic portal. The awakening of sinister spirits and the subsequent disappearance of 2 12-year-old girls in the U.S. The girls are found 3 days later with no memory of what happened to them. After the girls begin to exhibit unsettling behavior, it soon becomes clear that only an exorcism can save them, and everyone who comes in contact with them, including unwitting guests, is suddenly at risk of losing their souls. So we kind of get like a backstory of The Exorcist Believer there, because we only have what's going on based on the trailer that was recently released by Blumhouse. We know that Horror Nights has a strong relationship with Blumhouse, especially Hollywood with Murdy and Jason Blum. So like I said, I don't think that this will be a disappointment. I will, however, say, like I mentioned earlier, that when you're doing a haunted house before a movie, it could kind of skew the haunted house experience a little bit. But that's not to say that it's not going to be good. I'm really holding out hope for The Exorcist Believer, because I think it's going to be absolutely terrifying, and I definitely think it's going to be one of the more popular haunted houses of this year's event. And like I said, we do get like an official name of the Chucky haunted house, which was announced on closing night night of 2022's event, Chucky Ultimate Kill Count. Inspired by the hit USA and sci-fi series and cult classic films, Chucky Ultimate Kill Count cast their killer doll as a star of his very own haunted house for the first time. I'm quite excited for Chucky Ultimate Kill Count. Before, when they had just announced it with no key art or anything, and it was just a little trailer of it, I was kind of like, I mean, I think it'll be a fun house, but now since they released the key art, and now that they have like an actual name for it and everything, I think it's going to be good. I think they put a lot of thought into Chucky. Obviously, they had some form of security as far as them being able to bring this to life if they were to announce it literally last year. So I'm really looking forward to Chucky Ultimate Kill Count. I think it's going to be a whole lot of fun. I definitely think that this will be the quote-unquote fun house of this year. You know, sometimes you have houses and stuff like that that are not as great as some of the others, but they're just fun to walk through. Like, you have a fun time walking through them. I think Chucky Ultimate Kill Count will most likely be that house this year. But let's talk about the last house announcement, which is one of the newer ones, and Universal Monsters Unmasked. Rumored to be Universal Monsters Paris on all of these speculation maps and everything. Now we have an official name of Universal Monsters Unmasked. I really enjoy this key art a whole lot. So obviously we're going to have the different monsters unmasked. We have the Invisible Man, which I am so freaking excited for the Invisible Man to come back. Like, the scene that they did for Universal Monsters 2018 at Halloween Horror Nights in Hollywood, that was so impressive, and I cannot wait to see that brought to life again. I'm so pumped for the Invisible Man. And yes, I keep asking for a creature from the Black Lagoon house, but honestly, I'm okay with this concept. Like, I think it's going to work very well. Lurking 60 feet beneath the bustling streets of the City of Lights, the dank catacombs of Paris house a much darker secret. The all-new haunted house, Universal Monsters Unmasked, takes guests down into the infamous burial grounds where every corner and crevice overflows with millions of skeletal remains and even more sinister secrets. Deep within the catacombs, Universal Monsters' most notorious creatures, the Phantom of the Opera, the Hunchback of Notre Dame, Dr. Jekyll and his deranged alternate personality, Mr. Hyde, and Dr. Jack Griffin, aka the Invisible Man, also lie in wait as they bide their time and seek vengeance against guests after opening of the catacombs to public visitation. These desperate and dangerous fiends have become filled with a rage toward guests navigating the twisted tunnels of their underground labyrinth home. It is here in the darkness where they hunt these trespassers and where the sounds of guests' screams will go unheard. And then they do go on to say that Slash will be doing the music and soundtrack for this haunted house. As we all know, Slash does all the soundtracks for the Universal Monster houses over in Hollywood. So I'm pretty excited that Slash is returning, because let me tell you, he puts out some bangers of music all the time for these different haunted houses. I really enjoy the whole concept of Universal Monsters Unmasked. I think they got a good thing going with this, because like we've seen with The Bride of Frankenstein Lives, like we've seen with Legends Collide, you know, Murdy and the team at Universal get really creative with their different storylines as far as Universal Monsters go. I mean, we went from Frankenstein meets the Wolfman and a collab of all the different monsters to now where we have actual new storylines of different things like Unmasked, like Bride of Frankenstein Lives. I think that's so neat that they're thinking outside of the box and bringing these stories to life with already stories that exist, but just twisting them a little bit to where they all fit together, and it's not weird that the Invisible Man and the Phantom of Opera are working together to go at guests. Like, I think it's really neat, and of course with the addition of Slash, it makes it all the better. So yeah, already this lineup is looking amazing. I definitely think, I really hope, because I've been saying it a whole bunch, I think that there will most likely be some form of announcement at Midsummer Scream, probably today that you're watching this, or another day. There'll probably be a little bit of hint to an original house. I mean, like I said, they did announce Scarecrow last year, so let's hope that they announce, you know, whatever's going in Persian Courtyard, or maybe something behind the soundstage house, or I think we also have the former Walking Dead location. Hopefully something like that gets announced. I'm just hoping we get some form of an original announcement at Midsummer Scream. I'm crossing my fingers, and if we do, then I'll for sure be asking Murdy about it in our interview after. But this is where I get a little bit critical, and this is just my feedback for Universal. Universal's always been really good at taking feedback, so I just want to say I really miss the old way that they did trailers. Now, the past couple years, we've seen them trying to kind of tie these trailers in with each other, and they're more of like a cinematic short film, like a 3-minute short film. I mean, I don't know if you really consider that a short film, but you guys get what I'm saying. Like, they're acting out different stuff. Me personally, I don't know if I like that. Now, I think that works for IPs, but I really miss when we used to have original trailers. So, like for this, we only had the Exorcist trailer. We didn't have any trailer or new trailer for Chucky or Universal Monsters Unmasked. And we have seen them do amazing trailers with Universal Monsters before, like really, really good trailers, especially with The Bride of Frankenstein Lives. So I really miss when Universal used to do those original trailers. Now they're kind of just trying to do original stuff with the IPs and tie it into each other. Like, I'd like to see all those Orlando originals get their own separate trailers because they used to, but that's just a bummer to me. I feel like as a really strong fan of the event that'd generate more hype, in my opinion, because at least for me, I get super excited when I see the original key art and everything compared to watching one of the newer trailers that they start to put out now. But that's just my take, just some constructive criticism as far as what I'd like to see Universal do in the future for next year's event. But let me know down below in the comments section, are you excited about these 3 new haunted houses coming to Halloween Horror Nights? And if so, let us know down below. But as for today's video, I gotta get ready and I gotta head up to Midsummer Scream. I'm literally filming this at 8 in the morning and then I'm heading to Midsummer Scream right after. So subscribe if you're new here with those bell notifications on, and leave this video a like if you did enjoy it. As always, my name is Scott. You've been watching Exploring Attractions. Positivity is key, and most importantly, remember to keep exploring. Peace out, everybody.